There's going to be nothing like the female loneliness epidemic that you're going to see with this generation of women when they hit the 40s. It's going to be out of control.
Many years from now, there is going to be a quiet crisis, loneliness in women, especially. Not because women failed, not because they weren't capable or intelligent, but because they were handed a script or a blueprint that left out the consequences. Be self-sufficient, put your career first, you don't need a man. So they followed it. They pushed love down the line. They delayed the family. They treated commitment like something that could always wait until it didn't. Fast forward a few years later. You're older, no partner, no children, no legacy, just some noise to fill that silence.
There's going to be nothing like the female loneliness epidemic that you're going to see with this generation of women when they hit the 40s. It's going to be out of control. When these 20 somethings hit 40 something, there's going to be massive devastation. There's going to be the pharmaceutical companies are going to be like, yeah, cashing in on the antidepressants and all of that if they go that route.
I'm gonna be dead ass. Why is it like low-key controversial to just like talk to people nowadays? Because the older generation, like they be going up to people and striking out conversation with strangers, and we think that they're weird as hell for it. But honestly, like it's just socializing, it's just community. And like if you do that, like as a younger person, people are gonna call you fucking autistic.
The female loneliness epidemic is officially being covered by every major outlet now. Think pieces, news segments, academic studies. Everyone wants to talk about why women are lonely. Nobody wants to talk about the part where women specifically ask for this arrangement. Let's do the part nobody wants to do.
I'm going to make this clear for everyone.
Oh, goody. Another woman talking about the supposed male loneliness epidemic and how bad it really is.
Male loneliness epidemic. Hi.
Is it really? Then why aren't more men talking about it? If it was as bad as a lot of women seem to think that it is, then a person would imagine that it would be brought up more by men. But it's not.
Female loneliness epidemic. 0. Why?
Yes, why? Because from what I have seen, that really isn't what's actually going on.
You make us feel lonely. We don't feel lonely alone.
No, that's not entirely true. Now is it? If it was, then there wouldn't be so many women asking the question of where do they find a good man. But there are a lot of lonely individuals out there, both men as well as women. But from what I have seen, a lot of men handle being single a lot better than some women do. So I think some women have actually tried to convince themselves that men are just as miserable as some of them are.
I'm so tired of hearing about the male loneliness epidemic, so let's talk about the female loneliness epidemic, because we're experiencing one too. The one where men treat you like you're some fantasy object, and the moment they realize you're an actual human being with thoughts, feelings, and emotions, they're gone. Or when they want you for your body, but never have any intention of actually getting to know it or respecting it. Or when they want you for your emotional intelligence, even though they have no intention of ever reciprocating it. Or when they want you for what you can do for them, but they don't want you for who you are. That's loneliness. Crying yourself to sleep every night next to a partner who claims to love you even though his actions never follow his words, that's loneliness. Being too afraid to open yourself up to love and opening yourself up to men because we live in a world where SA, domestic violence, and femicide is so normalized, that's loneliness. The difference is that the male loneliness epidemic is self-inflicted and the female loneliness epidemic is self-preservation.
The statistics are not subtle. Women ages 25 to 45 are reporting the highest rates of loneliness, depression, and anxiety in recorded history. The institutions that promise them fulfillment through career, independence, and choice are now recording the outcomes of those promises. The outcomes are not good.
Please, this is not your fault.
You're right. It's not my fault. It's your fault!
So I'm at my son's football game an hour and 40 minutes from our hometown, feeling super lonely because I'm here all by myself and his team doesn't play for hours, right? I was feeling so sorry for myself, crying in my car, and I won't get into why. I'm feeling extra lonely and sad, but ooh, I didn't think that was gonna make me. So I said a prayer while I was crying. And I was like, God, please just send me someone to not let me feel so lonely here. I know some of the parents here, but we don't really talk, and like it's just awkward. I'm the only one like alone, So I was like, God, send me someone so that I don't feel so alone. And as I'm walking up to the field, I look in the sky. There's a rainbow. First amazing sign. And then I go and sit at a picnic table all by myself. And a little girl, she was probably like 2 or 3, she comes and sits right next to me. She taps my arm. And I look at her and she's just staring at me. And I know this seems so silly, but it felt like God told her to sit with me. And she put the biggest smile on my face. She was so cute. She didn't say a word to me. She just kept sitting there staring at me like so intently. And she would go away and keep coming back. And it was just the sweetest thing ever. And those are little moments where I feel like answered prayers, you know? It seems simple and silly maybe to people that don't believe or don't talk to God. But for me, that was an answered prayer. And now I'm still waiting for my son's game to start. And I was trying to stick it out, just sitting alone waiting. But there's probably another 20 minutes till his game starts. So I came in the car to share this story with you. Oh man, I'm such an introvert lately, and I never used to be this way, but I'm going through so much on the personal side. Oh man. Anyways, thank you, God, for sending that little special friend.
The content is on repeat. Car, bedroom, kitchen, always alone, always crying, always asking the camera, why is this happening to me? The camera doesn't answer. The camera just records. Maybe the camera should. The camera has seen the whole decade.
Women always ask me, what happened to men today? Great question. What started out as a good thing, encouraging men to respect women, has swung way too far in the opposite direction. Now, a lot of men are terrified of women, so they wait for perfect conditions before making a move. But courage doesn't exist without risk, and women can't respect men who don't risk anything. So as a man, if you want to be seen as confident, you've got to be willing to look stupid, to get rejected, to be misunderstood. So start by taking small risks. Approach women when you're out and about. Initiate plans with them. You'd be surprised how fast it'll work, because women nowadays, they're not turned off by that kind of effort. They're starving for it.
A decade of we don't need men. Published, printed, amplified. On every channel, every podcast, every platform, the message was received by the men, who then conducted an experiment. What if we stopped providing the thing you said you didn't need? Turns out, you needed it. Experiment concluded. Results published in the loneliness data.
Good men do finish last. And I'm going to tell you why. When a woman finally meets a good man after being neglected, taken for granted, torn down, you name it, all these bad men, she finally meets a good man. She doesn't understand what she's done to deserve this kind of love. She doesn't know how to receive that love. And when a woman is in that state of mind, she is constantly looking for red flags. And when she finds one, even a small red flag, she will cling to it and mentally check out of the relationship, and the man doesn't even know it. And this is where a good man does what good men do, and they will continue to fight and give grace and time, thinking that she will come around, because he has no idea that she has already mentally checked out of that relationship. And trust me when I say that no good man would willingly choose to stay and fight for a relationship where he is not wanted. Therefore, good men do finish last, because they are constantly punished for all of the bad men in a woman's past.
A wise man once said, when someone shows you who they are, believe them the first time. The men she dismissed showed her they were reliable. She believed they were boring. The men she chose showed her they were exciting. She believed they would change. One group told the truth. The other group told her what she wanted to hear. The one telling the truth got ignored.
A woman on here said that women in coming years are going to be faced with excruciating loneliness. Loneliness because they're not putting men first. they're not building families, they're choosing themselves over legacy. I understand the message here, but the way it was delivered was so self-righteous, as if this woman were doing everything right for the future of humanity and the rest of us, well, we were just screwing it up. What she fails to understand is that a lot of women did exactly that. They gave everything to a man and everything to building a family. They wanted that outcome, but they were not met with an equal partner. They were not met with respect and the same intention to build together. They were abandoned and lied to and cheated on and routinely disappointed. You cannot threaten those women that their later years are going to be lonely years. They already lived through the loneliest, darkest years of their life. That scare tactic is nonsense. It neglects to recognize the immense strength that women have, the ability to build meaningful relationships outside of a romantic one, and to build legacy in community.
The blame is creative. Men caused the loneliness by leaving. That's the logic. If the men had stayed while being disrespected, ignored, and treated as optional, there would be no loneliness. The solution is for men to resume being mistreated. The men are not volunteering.
I don't know if anyone can relate to this, but I've been single for a really long time, and I always have guys asking me like, oh, how's a girl like you single? Like insinuating like I shouldn't be. And I'll tell you why I'm still single. Because my standards are, at this point, they're through the roof. Like, good luck meeting them. I mean, I require reciprocated energy, good communication, meaningful conversation that's not just how was your day, respect of my time, actually treating me like you value me as a person and that you can actually bring something positive into my life. It's really a lot. Like, it's rough out here. I need to lower my standards.
I'm thinking, what the hell? All I want is to mess around, and I don't really care about.
The rare, honest video is moving. I thought this was what I wanted. The self-awareness hits at about 35, right on schedule. The tragedy isn't that she didn't know. The tragedy is that she did. She was told, she was warned, she was given examples. She processed all of it as patriarchal propaganda. Now it's data.
I just feel like I need to document my Friday night, Sophie. This is my Friday night after work. I went out last night and I had to talk to people all day, and this is my favorite snack, so I'm going to show you guys. This is what I'm eating on a Friday night. I got romaine lettuce from Publix. Sophie likes the meat, but then she doesn't eat it. Boar's Head Swiss cheese. I'm gonna rip that in half. Don't worry, I washed my hands. Then I'm gonna do Boar's Head roasted turkey breast. One piece of that. I just feel like these ones are better. They're more fresh than the ones that come in like the pre-made packs, you know. And then I'm gonna go in with some Dijon mustard from Publix. I wish I got pickles, but I forgot. And then I squirt a little bit on top. And it's my favorite snack. And it has to be low calories, but it's lightest cheese and turkey. And this says 5 calories for a tablespoon or a teaspoon. I barely use any. She doesn't actually like it, she just smells it. Okay, usually I just eat one. You know, gotta stay lean. But I'm eating 2 right now because I'm starving. I'm starving and I'm trying to stay skinny. Oh my god. My cat wants to go outside so bad. Good night.
This is chocolate. You can't have chocolate because it's really not good for you. You can smell it. You can't eat it. So you're really missing out not being able to eat chocolate. Smell the breath. Oh, you don't like that? I'm sorry.
Have you ever considered the possibility you might end up a lonely old cat lady?
I I think about it every day. It's so hard to get someone who understands you. And
Why are the women who say they won't settle okay with settling for living and dying alone with a dozen cats?
because during all their life they think they deserve better, and the years pass, and then they end up being alone.
Because you'll have peace. Your peace of mind is priceless.
Well, yeah, but why would women who can't have everything choose to settle for nothing?
Because that's not nothing. Like, you have yourself. Like, sometimes if you get the wrong man, it just chips away at you, and you be like, I'll just rather deal with my cats than to be doing all this work.
The aestheticization is its own genre: soft candles, soft wine, soft lighting. A cat named after a literary character, a journal, a bath, a book, all of it captioned self-love. None of it addresses the fact that she's talking to herself. The lighting is beautiful. The life underneath it is not.
Many years from now, there is going to be a quiet crisis, loneliness in women especially. Not because women failed, not because they weren't capable or intelligent, but because they were handed a script or a blueprint that left out the consequences. Be self-sufficient, put your career first, you don't need a man. So they followed it. They pushed love down the line. They delayed the family. They treated commitment like something that could always wait until it didn't. Fast forward a few years later. You're older, no partner, no children, no legacy, just some noise to fill that silence. Meanwhile, your grandmothers had way fewer choices, but way stronger direction. They built families, they built the roots, they built something bigger than themselves. And this generation swapped it all for convenience. Legacy for pleasure, meaning for freedom without structure. And here's the part that nobody likes to talk about. The men that they overlooked in their 20s, they didn't just vanish. They were building, failing, learning, becoming disciplined, and becoming men. Men don't peak early. They compound with time. Value grows with time and skill and responsibility. Women don't gain leverage by delaying everything. That is not cruelty. That is reality. Every decision comes with a cost. Modern narratives today did not remove the bill. They just postponed it. And the outcome is usually the same. Distractions instead of connection. Comfort instead of intimacy, and independence without fulfillment. This is not about going backward. It's about correcting the course. We don't need less ambition. We need stronger values, commitment, family, masculine leadership, feminine devotion, and a shared purpose, because freedom without foundation doesn't liberate. It isolates you completely. And tradition wasn't the problem. Abandoning it was.
The men are aware. They read the articles. They see the TikToks. They're just not moving. Not because they're heartless, because the institutions that generated this crisis told men their concerns were invalid for a decade. The empathy budget was exhausted. The men kept the receipts. The empathy isn't available anymore.
So I just watched a video of a lady who left her nice guy husband last year, and she's divorced. But then she goes on to say how he never said I love you, he was emotionally neglected, she just kind of like accepted that just, he was a good father and good in certain ways, but he wasn't a good husband. You guys, just because they're nice to other people, just because they check a few boxes doesn't make them a good guy, a good one. No. What makes a good guy in a good relationship is somebody who shows up and somebody who says, I love you. Now, if somebody leaves a guy who's showing up all the time, who's very much not neglectful, who's thoughtful and giving, and you choose to leave because it's boring or whatever, that's where the issue stands. Because when you're leaving an actual good guy who's showing up for you, who's there for you, who's loving to you, who's never done anything to make you question your worth, and that's not enough, that is a issue within the woman. Typically, that means that they're used to chaos, they're used to craziness, and a nice, stable guy isn't enough. Leaving a man who is not showing up for you and knowing that it's not enough, that's not
a problem. And I think just the way that she started that, and then if you didn't listen to the whole thing, it sounded like, oh, I left a good guy, and people were like, oh my gosh, guys especially in the comments. But no, if you listen, she didn't leave a good husband. She left a good father, and he wasn't physically or emotionally, well, I would even beg to say there is emotional abuse. Neglect is a form of abuse, you guys. So if somebody's neglecting you, especially if you've spoken up and said, hey, I need this in our relationship, and they choose not to or just can't show up for you, that's not a good relationship, and you shouldn't feel bad for leaving. In fact, it is so much better for you to leave, ma'am. I don't know if you'll see this. It's so much better for you to leave than it is for you to cheat and end up regretting that and you lowering yourself to what you know is wrong, right? It's okay. It's okay to leave somebody if they're not showing up. It's better to try to fix it if you can, but if you can't, for all intents and purposes, you didn't leave the nice guy, the good guy. You left a neglectful guy who might be a really good father.
She cut off her parents for being problematic. She dropped her best friend for being toxic. She ghosted her exes for closure. She shed every relationship that required compromise. Now she's alone. And the people she cut off are at dinners together wondering where she went. They know where. They're fine without her. That's also part of the loneliness.
It honestly kind of makes me a little bit sad that on my dating videos, I feel like a lot of women comment. Okay, so I feel like it's a collective feeling. I mean, like, it's really weird because I feel like a lot of women want to be approached, or they want to be in a relationship, or they want to date or whatever. Do men feel the same? Like, genuinely, do men feel the same way? And I'm just asking, like, out of curiosity, like, is there like a problem where like men feel like women don't want to be like approached, or like don't want to be in a relationship? Like, do they, like, are they scared? It's like a genuine question, okay? Because I've been getting like a lot of feedback, okay, like comments, DMs, whatever, on my last video, which was about like dating, and a lot of people are like, yeah, it's the same, and I don't see a lot of like men. I do get some like DMs from men saying the same thing, but like I wonder if men feel the same way, or if they're like intimidated to like talk. Like, what do we do? Like, how do we fix this genuinely?
Wanting desperately for somebody to come and save you from your life is such a normal way to respond to a lifetime of not having your needs met, of being left alone to navigate the world as a child without having the proper supports in place. So you're not wrong.
Men need to come back. That's the proposed solution. The men who were told they weren't needed for a decade are now needed to solve a crisis they didn't create. This is not a solution. This is a request. And the men receiving the request are declining, politely with their phones on silent.
I've been single my entire life. I'm going to be turning 42 in August, and I've never had anybody love me or desire me or want to be with me. And I have so much love that I feel like that is inside of me with nowhere to go, because it can't transfer to friends or my family or my parents, because it's something separate, it's something different. And I've gathered all of this love since I was in high school, and then it just sits there and it eats me alive sometimes. And I'm bringing this up, oh my gosh, I just slammed my hand off of that. Sorry, I'm bringing this up because I'm lonely and sad, and the world is hard and horrible. And I was thinking this morning that, like, no one's laid next to me in bed. I've never had the comfort of someone's arms around me. When I've had difficult moments, I've gotten through them by myself most of the time. Now I have a beautiful family of brothers and my mother and my dad when he was alive, and I love them. I'm grateful for them. But there's something different about having somebody that's there for you, next to you, with you, and it's a different kind of loneliness if you've been single all of your life. And I know that there are people who get this. There are people who follow me that get this. But I was thinking about it in terms of just bigger worldly issues as well. the fear of the world and the difficulties that we are seeing. And again, this is minuscule on the level of what some people are facing, but it doesn't mean that it's nothing. And I have to figure out how to deal with these feelings. But the idea that, like, I don't go home and somebody's there to talk with and cook dinner with, and I have a roommate, but we do our own things. We have our own lives. And again, it's not the same. It's not the same. And I'm always told sometimes as a single person that it's not easier on the other side. And so I guess I just wanted to say to people who get this feeling that you're not alone, and I know that it's difficult, but I also know that there's a certain type of strength that has been developed that I have because of my experiences in my life that has led me to be able to do difficult things. And it's difficult being alone, and it's okay to feel lonely, and it's okay for it to feel hard and scary. So just know that you're not alone, and know that I see you and I'm there with you. And I'm still seeking to find ways to make it easier for myself. And I really, really do wish to make it easier for others. So if you're lonely, know that I'm sorry, and know that I'm sitting in the lonely with you. I hope you have a good day, everybody.
Loneliness has physical consequences, equivalent to smoking 15 cigarettes a day per the research. It's a public health crisis, the most documented public health crisis specifically for women in a generation. And nobody wants to discuss the cause because the cause implicates the ideology. So we discuss the symptoms forever, inefficiently.
The trad wife lifestyle that's becoming more popular is not becoming popular because it's oppressive to women. It's becoming popular because women are realizing that having a family is more fulfilling than anything else. Modern feminists have tried to shove the agenda down women's throats for the past 2 decades, that having a family will hold you back, that you can't accomplish your dreams, that it's a burden to have children, and women are realizing that that's not true. We have influencers like Nara Smith and Ballerina Farms who are breaking the mold about how you can be a traditional wife, you can be a traditional woman, while also pursuing your dreams and having a career and having goals, but be present in your home. It doesn't have to be one extreme or the other extreme. You can be a traditional wife and still want to make money and still want to take care of your family. The reason that Taylor Swift is singing in her songs about putting a basketball hoop in her yard and wanting to fill the block with her kids that look like her husband is not because that's an oppressive lifestyle. It's because it's an attractive lifestyle. That's what women want. Women are realizing that raising children with someone that you love, someone that wants to take care of you, is more fulfilling than that girl boss do everything on your own lifestyle. Women want to be nurtured. We want to be taken care of. And I'm so happy that women are finally waking up and realizing how fulfilling it can be to be a wife and a mother when you're married to the correct person, obviously.
Talked about the modern day trad wife before. Modern day traditional wives who are out there taking care of their man, generally hot. They take care of themselves, and they usually cook, clean, do all the house chores like they did back in the 50s with ease. They don't complain. They're happy. Why are they happy? Because they trust their man to lead the relationship. They respect him. They depend on their man. There's nothing wrong with it, ladies. They usually have their own business, so they're not just depending on their man for money. They're depending on their man for love, trust, loyalty. They're not with their man for money. They might even make more money than their man, and they're still doing all the household chores and satisfying their partner's needs because they like to. Basically, they get enjoyment out of life by taking care of their partner. These women are pretty rare, but you do see them running around, the happiest women out there. Oh, we're not in the 50s anymore. The year's 2024, but these women are still taking the ideology that they should take care of their man, take care of their house, take care of themselves. They basically are just thriving in life. I don't know. What do you guys think?
Being a woman with traditional values in 2025 means just saying things like, hey, I think men and women are different. You know, I think that the end goal of relationships should be marriage. Like, that's not even a normal thought process or normal things to say anymore. All of a sudden you're trad. Or you post a video that's like, cooking for my husband because I love him. Like, what is the baseline anymore? Where is the bar? Are you just trad because you're a good wife and you say things like, hey, my husband is the head of the household? That used to just be a normal wife.
There are women not in this crisis, the women who chose family early. The women who chose partnership over performance, the women who read the menu, ordered the meal, and enjoyed it. They're not posting crying videos. They're too busy living. Their absence from the loneliness content is its own data point.
People just love to romanticize being a pretty woman, that life comes so easy for you and you get everything in life that you want, which you certainly can, but it can also be a very lonely life. And also, when I'm saying a pretty girl, an attractive person, I'm not only talking about the outside, I'm talking about the inside, how your soul is, how you treat other people. All of these things contribute to being a pretty woman. I want to do a video talking about it and why I think it's really hard for anybody that's attractive, for that matter, to make good relationships. It is very hard, especially in female friendships, to find a good connection that doesn't see you as competition. Naturally, when you're an attractive or pretty woman, your confidence is higher up there. You have a better sense of self compared to most other people. And that can attract some really insecure types of people into your life. When those insecure people come into your life, they try to latch off of that. Whether that's in the form of competition, just trying to one-up you and even imitating you for that matter. Not only for the sole purpose of being attractive, but if you're also an attractive person that has a good heart, a good soul, you're a nice person, you have a high sense of self and confidence, that is intimidating to a lot of people, and a lot of people can grow jealous of that and hate you for it. Our boundaries can be so high, our expectations can be so high that we just don't foresee the point of letting people into our lives that don't meet those expectations. You're not alone. Pretty women are the most lonely. It has nothing to do with the outside. It also has to do with the inside. But if you have both, live a very good life, and everything that you give out to the world will come back to you. So.
The loneliness is real. The pain is real. The cause is not a mystery. The cause has a 30-year paper trail, a bibliography, and a quarterly earnings report. The women suffering through it now can either accept the diagnosis or keep blaming the air conditioning. One path leads out. The other path is the current path. Gentlemen, this is not our problem to solve. This is a problem for the institutions that created it. Stay the course. Stay building. Stay out.
Thanks for watching Male Imperium. Please show us your love by subscribing to the channel using the bell icon. We're also up for debate and some healthy banter, so don't forget to comment under the video.